Hey everyone, my name's Moneyvon Sayasan, though I need to just go by Manny. Hard to mispronounce two syllables, right? I've been drawing for as long as I can remember, and my artwork has been published in a few zines during my college years, and here are some examples. I've been commissioned to design flyers for events held at my university, as well as cover art for really small publications. I've written fiction since I was in middle school, and I started my first novel length story when I went to high school. But my writing has only ever been published at my community college. Um, so here's the Merced River Literary Magazine. But I do have two college essays published online, so if you want to see them, here are the names of those two essays. But every other publication has rejected my fiction submissions, though, in fairness, I haven't submitted anything since 2021. But I got a photo of mine published, so that's cool. It's when I realized that in the world of literature and creative writing, you shine as an artist. In my case, anyway. And I just don't like the idea of having to pay submission fees just so a reader reads like one word from my entire story and decide to reject it. Okay, that may be exaggeration, but but I do have experience in reading for a magazine. Um, the Normal School magazine, actually, for 2.5 years. So the whole time I was in the MFA program in Fresno State, I read for the Normal School. First as a graduate assistant and then as a editorial assistant. You see my name right here. Despite my lack of publications in the creative writing realm, I do have my collection of extensive short stories in the form of a master's thesis, as you can see here. But yeah, it's been some time since I read these stories. Like after graduating, getting my master's degree through the mail, I just never came back to these stories. But I think I'm gonna revisit them pretty soon because some of these stories are actually kind of interesting. It's just that the length of each of these stories are just too long for a literary magazine, and it's so hard for me to trim my story because I feel like every detail I put in there serve a purpose, but for my readers, maybe not so much. And so that's another reason why I hesitate in submitting because they're just too long. But I've had friends, my classmates, and my professors tell me like I gotta submit these stories. Like I don't know how to submit them in a much shorter form, but um, I've made a promise to myself that I'm gonna start submitting this year, so there's that. I've also tried to learn to play musical instruments. Like, check out this old footage of me playing an electronic keyboard. I've messed around with music applications since finally getting my own personal cell phone in high school. Because back then, I had to share a cell phone with one of my parents. But I've gone beyond sound loops and created using Mario Paint Composer and FL Studio, or as most people call it, Fruity Loops. Heck, I even covered the Are Your Base Are Belong to Us meme for my March video. So yeah, it's apparent I like to create, and you must be wondering why I'm telling you about myself as a creative. Again. Now, if you've seen my March video, you would notice I have some concerns about AI art. Well, AI in general, seeing that it may replace writers, voice actors, and musicians. Maybe not all of them, but a good deal, you know. And I've watched many videos of artists giving their perspective on AI. Some were informative and inspiring, and others basically said, get over it, get good. Very devoid of any empathy whatsoever. Such is the internet, right? So, I sifted through hours of videos about AI art and became exhausted from hearing several analogies of humans resisting technology. You know the ones. Back then, artists freaked out when photography was invented, and they're fine. When motion pictures became popular, people still produce plays. And Manny, you use a digital audio workstation to produce music. Pretty sure you didn't produce all that techno and hip hop with that one guitar you own. And besides, musicians and DJs have new sounds for their songs long before AI was trending. Okay, stop. Just stop. There is a difference between covering and sampling sounds and just copying without giving any credit. And that's a topic for little musicians and folks in the music industry. All I want to say to creatives despairing over AI capitalizing on our humanity is to please keep creating. Keep creating to inspire others. And if you don't feel like creating, that's fine. Support your favorite creatives. Tell them that their work has impact you and many others, and promote their work. Share them, different social media platforms. And however more advanced AI becomes, you have to keep creating. Everything we enjoy or tolerate about life leads back to creativity, right? The movie or TV series you watch after a long day of work, the music or podcast you listen to on your way to and from work, the clothes and accessory you wear when you go out with your friends, right? And the phone case and wallpaper you see before messaging your friends where you should all meet. The fancy or cozy restaurant you and your friends choose to dine in for the atmosphere and cleanliness, I hope. I don't think you're going somewhere because it's kind of clean. But you're probably thinking, Manny, I don't make any of these things. No, but it's possible for your creativity to inspire people who do. Because creativity is cyclical. And while I don't have an updated DeviantArt account or huge following on Instagram, SoundCloud, or YouTube, my creativity has inspired a few friends to create, to try new things, to challenge themselves. Okay, I've inspired them to get into fitness, not art. Which I argue, fitness, that is, to be a performance art, sculpting and photography in one, especially if you're taking as many selfies as me. But I inspire them. And my ability to inspire them comes from my enjoyment of stories, characters, and sounds that many people within my proximity or even on the internet might not know. I have just a few more final thoughts about this topic, so here goes. Art, whether it's traditional, digital, performance, film, photography, or music, gives us a personal identity. It allows us to reflect, see our place in the world, and make positive changes. Perhaps change our destiny, even. And art gives us a cultural identity. It enables us to connect with people inside our communities and those formerly outside of them. It even connects us with people that came before our time, or with people as we see them. But I myself have been inspired to learn different languages thanks to media that were originally in Spanish, Japanese, and German. And how would historians and archaeologists learn about humans of the past without art? I mean, we learn our history by studying artifacts like clothes, musical instruments, songs, stories both oral and written, and paintings seen on the walls of buildings and caves. And you wonder, I'm not a historian or an art major, so why should I care about studying old artifacts? You don't have to study art from the past or anything at all. Just realize that all the art that happened back then and is happening now is why any instance of enjoyment can be obtained in our crazy world by you. The media you consume on your smart device is made by content creators who were inspired by artists of the past and by other creators inside their more immediate circle. And those artists were inspired by people who came before them as well. And again, art is cyclical. It is global. It transcends time. And it is why, despite the increasing popularity of AI arts, I believe there will always be a market for human-made arts. There might even be a greater appreciation for human-made art in the near future. But instead of that appreciation happening in the future, let's make it happen starting now. And so, how about we show our support for our favorite artists and content creators and let them know their work matters. And if you're creative, remind yourself your work matters as well. So please, keep creating. Thank you.